Hello all, Jamie Rogers here for Craftmania. Today we're taking another little look at a last minute Christmas idea for you. I don't know if you've stumbled across this little series we're doing already, but throughout November we're trying to give you lots of last minute inspiration for your Christmas cards. And while I'm waffling, Pete's going to give you a little scan over a few of the ones that you may see coming up on videos, or even if you don't, it's just nice to give you a bit of an idea of other ways you could use the products we're going to be talking about in today's video. So today we're going to be looking at a whole host of products. All of these are of course available on the Craftmania website, which is www.craftmaniacrafts.com. If you head on there and go to the section marked as seen on TV across the top bar, and then click down to the page which is called November-YouTube-Last Minute Christmas Ideas. All of the bits we'll be talking about pretty much are in there, and lots of them are on different special offers. So if you are somebody who's running against time a little to get your Christmas cards made this year, lots of inspiration in there for you. A lot of our products also have these cards pictured, so if you want to have a little look at them in more detail or want to just look for a library of cards, sometimes that can be quite helpful to give you some more inspiration as well. But lots of stuff on the website that you can have a little look at. We'll talk more towards the end of today's video about how you can order and P&P and all the boring bits that we have to do. But I thought we would actually make this card on today's little video. When I created this for a show back in June, I had an awful lot of questions about it. So I thought it might be nice to bring it on and share it with you and tell you a little bit more about it, because it's actually super easy to create, and I actually think it's quite effective. I like monochrome when it comes to Christmas, and I think the penguins are so cute. How could you say no to a card of penguins on it? So what we're going to do first of all is just look at a couple of the dies that are used for this one. So we have our lovely sentiment in the middle here, which says nothing warms the heart like good friends. That's quite a lovely sentiment all year round. It doesn't just have to be for Christmas, does it? But of course it is in our Christmas offers on our website, so you can even save a little bit, get this one for all year. Then we have our lovely penguins. Now these are really cool because these are a Sue Wilson die. She's designed them that they're going to emboss details on your lovely igloo. We've got North Pole engraved in your sign. Then we actually have your penguins with all their little clothes, top hats, bow ties, gloves, ice skates. The whole lot is all going to cut out for you as separate dies, so you can then have the effect of building them in different colours with different outfits and different occasions, which I think is just so much fun and very cute. Now, something we're not particularly highlighting on this episode, this little video, but if you don't like penguins, who couldn't like a penguin? But if you don't, or you want something to complement your penguins, we also have a polar bear set, which is also available on the website at the moment on offer. And then you've got little things like the sleigh down here, which you can actually pop your penguins on as well. You've got presents, you've got scarves, you've got earmuffs, you've got little bows, party hats, woolly hats. A lot of these bits are interchangeable, and especially like the little small polar bear down there, he's proper cute. So if you wanted to pop him in with your penguins, that could really work, and you could build up larger scenes and bits. We'll take a look at a few of the cards later and I'll show you how I've been using these bits together, but I just wanted to highlight there's two sets for you and they do work very well together. So what we're going to do to start off with then is we're going to have a little look at our card panels. So you're going to notice here, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about how the cards come together, but each one is made into its own panel, and that's actually very cleverly done, all pretty much with one die set. I'm going to bring this board in actually, and we'll talk a little bit about this. This is our Deco Trees Sue Wilson die set. Again, we've got these on the website. Again, they're on offer. This is a pretty impressive die set. What we have, obviously, is if I show you on this one, we have our outer edge, which is our snowflake frame. We then have an inner edge, which is our tree pieces, and you're going to see this on a couple of these little demo videos throughout November, because I think this is really lovely. Then in the middle of that, you've got this snowflake element. Now this can be bought in for cards. I'm going to try and, we're going rogue, I'm going to pinch one of the cards at this point. You could use this for just hanging baubles. So, you know, brilliant element for that if you wish to. Or you could use it to make little sentiment bits or decorations for your actual tree if you wanted to. It's symmetrical, so you could stick them back to back and make different shapes with them like that. We also have your backing plates to go behind these elements too. So if you want to cut something out and actually pop it behind it, not a problem. You could use your frame just as a frame, which is how we're going to be using it on today's card. Or you could cut all of the bits together like we have on this one, except the bit in the middle. I don't know why we left that out actually. We could have kept that in there and then had a snowflake in the centre there. So loads and loads of options. I really like ones like this as well, being a scrapbooker. I think that could make a lovely frame for scrapbooking, or maybe for the insert of your card. Maybe you've popped one of the open frames on the outside, then you could put one of the filled in frames on the inside and stamp or write your sentiment or your greeting on there. And then it's going to tie together. It's going to give you them two different effects out of one die set. I love the way Sue designs her dies, so they nest with edges and without edges, so you've got that ability to cut it in, cut it out, have it as a frame. You get a lot more versatility that way. So that's actually the frame we're going to be looking at, and we'll bring that in at this point so I can just show you what I've done. Basically, I've cut one in white so that we have our inner frame cut out and our outside cut out, and then I've cut just using the sort of inner and outer shape of it, so not the delicate part, not the snowflake bit, just the solid part to create my own frame. And then we're literally just going to stick that on top of here so that it marries up and we have our perfect frame to work with. Now the one I've already done, obviously, I've just stuck it together using some of our dry clear cosmic shimmer PVA glue, which is perfect for this sort of project. And then what we're going to look at is what's going to go on behind that. So here, these are pretty cool. This is actually an 8x8 embossing folder, and it's our Snowfall embossing folder. Again, we've got these on the website, so if you haven't got a snow embossing folder already, this one's really quite nice. It's not too large, fits in well scale wise with our penguins, our polar bears, bits like that. Also quite nice if you want to turn it over and do grouting effects on them. So I'll show you that actually, because I've got a product on this little video that would work well for that. So I'll show you how I did my first one properly, and then we'll do a little bit of grouting because it shouldn't get in the way of what we're doing. So first of all, I'm going to use Pearl Luster metallic polish to go over the top and highlight my lovely snow effect on here. So if you haven't seen these before, metallic polishes, they come in about 30 colours if I remember rightly. We literally go in, we have a little sponge that's built into the lid, by the way, that actually comes with it if you're completely new to this concept. Applicator in the roof of the product, bring it out, build up a little ramp on the side of your jar, not too heavy, just a nice light covering over your end of your applicator. Take off any excess so you don't have too much for this because it's quite delicate. And then we literally just brush it down going across the snow. And you're going to see that it's just going to highlight them snow dots for us and gives us a really nice pearl finish. So where we started off with bright white card, this is now give us that lovely pearl effect. Now on my piece of paper here, I can show you that we can actually smooth this out and cover complete sheets of card. So this really prevents you from ever having to buy pearl card again, because you can just go and give it a pearl tone. Now, in honesty, this one, although it's our pearl one, if we use it on other shades, so I'm going to go rogue again and I'm going to show you it on the dark, it will taint it slightly so it goes a bit silvery. But I actually think that's quite a lovely metal effect. So if we're looking for men's cards, a nice stainless steel effect here, depending on what embossing folder you're working with, that could really look quite pretty. Or a very frosty effect if you want to do more Christmas cards. So it will show the colour that's underneath, but it's going to give it that nice white frosty hue as well. So that one, of course, is your Pearl Luster if you haven't seen these before. So once we've gone over our snow one, we'll talk about our other effect we can do with this folder, which is our grouting. Now thinking about it, I've got another piece down here, so we'll bring that up. And we're going to bring in a product called Glitter Kiss, and we're going to look at the Frosty Sparkle one. Now we do also do texture pastes as well, that come in these sort of Aurora colours or frosty colours. And if you wanted to, you could use your texture paste for this as well. But as we're going to be looking at this on this show or this little episode, I thought it might be nice to show you it with this product, because they both work out about the same value and they will both work just as well. So all I'm using is just a palette knife, and I'm literally just taking the Glitter Kiss and taking it across the top of the product, letting it go into all of them gaps so that we just have nice sparkly snow. So we'll carry on a little bit. We won't do all of this because we don't even need this. This is really me going properly rogue today. Try to keep like channeled so I know what I'm doing on these. And now today we're going right off on a little tangent. But as you can see, we'll take that little blob off there because we don't need that. Hopefully that camera can pick up on this. Now in all of them little dots, we have nice sparkly snow instead. So it's a really good folder to use as an emboss or a deboss. So don't forget, as your emboss, we've gone on with our Pearl Luster metallic polish. As our deboss, we've gone on with our Glitter Kiss in Frosty Sparkle. So it just depends how you want it to look, really. Looking back, I wish I had done the frosty effect on the backs of these, because I think that's quite lovely and a nice little hint to Christmas. But the choice is yours. So where we're going to go from here is we're going to bring in our panel. and we're going to have a little look at what we've got on here. So where are we? So here is our card. So let's chat about this for just a second. So what I've done for my card is I've taken just pieces of card. This one started off as A4 and I've literally just put it together and I've scored it. And I'm going to try and give you a measurement actually if I can find a rule. I know I brought one in here with me because I thought, oh, that will be, oh, here it is. I thought, oh, that will be handy, so I can tell you. See, about 5.5 inches, and then I've just scored at about 0.5 centimetre to make a little tunnel. And that's important because when we do that, when the card actually collapses round, we've got that little bit of depth, so it will forgive what's in front of it. So where we've got this nice foam padded depth of the frame on there, it's going to make way for that. So we're going to take our piece of snow, and we're going to take off our pads for this. Now our snow for the base here, for where our penguin is going to stand, is literally just a piece of card I've cut, and I've just gone across the top of it with a pair of scissors to cut it as a bit of a snowy scene. And then over the front of that I've covered it again with my pearl luster just to give it a shimmer. And then we're going to go round the edge of the frame here just with some Cosmic Shimmer Dry as Clear glue to give us a gluey base to work on. And then we're going to bring that in and pop that on the base there. And then from there we're going to remove these extra pieces because this is where we're going to pop on our snowy background that we were just working on. So if I was making this card to give away, I would then put another panel over the top here to actually cover up my workings, or use a larger snowy scene, whichever one you wish, but just cover it up so that nobody can see it. Then we're going to go to the front of the card and we'll pop on our frame here. So this again is our snowflake frame. It comes from the deco trees that we spoke about a little while ago. And we're going to pop that on the front there. Now obviously because of you've got them aperture dies, that lovely frame by the way, that's what I've used to cut in here. So that's going to match perfectly with my frame. So it's all going to marry up. That's one of the nice bits of Sue's dies, is we have them pieces so we can use them to cut apertures, we can use them to cut the apertures on the frames, but it's all going to match together quite nicely. So we'll just lift that up for a second and move that out of the way. And then we're going to look at our little penguin. So if we bring in our penguin here, so this is proper cool. As I mentioned earlier, we have all of your different components for this one. So what I have here, I've cut this element, his actual body out in black, and then we're going to go for the sort of, these remind me of little space hoppers. I think they're so cute, but that's actually going to lay well on top of the body. So we're going to bring in a bit of my Cosmic Shimmer glue again, and we're just going to pop that going over the top of the middle of our body of our lovely penguin. And then we're going to bring in his boots, because it's all about the boots, and we want him to be on his little ice skates. Now these are pretty lovely. We're just going to fold over some paper here, and we're just going to bring in both of the little booties, and we're going to take a alcohol marker. You could use a Sharpie or a felt tip, whatever you wish, but we're just going to cover in the little blade of his boots. Now of course these could be done in silver if you prefer, so they look like the stainless steel, but I quite like the black for this, and that will give them a nice bit of colour and match him with his body as well. So we're then going to add a bit of Cosmic Shimmer glue just to the top of these, and we'll add that onto the base there. Then we're going to do exactly the same for his other one. So of course you don't have to add these if you don't want to, but I think they're so lovely. Gives him character, gives him a bit of life, doesn't it? And then we're going to bring in his scarf. We'll add that on as well. There we go. We'll pop that on in the middle. So as you can see, you can build these quite quickly. You could batch cut all of these elements, couldn't you, in loads of different colours, so that they're ready for you to just bring together. And if you wanted to, you could even cut like the little bauble out, or put on a little rhinestone onto the edge of his hat if you wanted to. The options are pretty endless. And then I'm going to bring in a black pen and just add in his eyes, or her eyes. Add in a couple of little dots there. Again, if you've got some googly eyes, you could possibly put some little googly eyes on there. On the one I've already completed, I've also added in his little yellow mouth bit, which is another die that you've got. I have got that here somewhere, so we could add that in as well if we wanted to. Bit fiddly, so we'll leave him off. But you've got the little mouth bit, and I've added a little pearl to the edge there just to complete him. Keep calling him, don't I? It's very sexist. And then we're going to bring that little penguin in. We're going to pop a bit of glue on the back of him, and we're going to bring his little arms out just slightly, and we're going to stand him on our little slope. Let's put him on a slight angle. And then we're going to talk a little bit about our North Pole sign up here. Now the North Pole sign is quite cool because that again comes in with your lovely penguin set. And you've got a couple of different bits to this. So we have our lovely pole to pop on, and we have our North Pole wording. So I've cut both of mine out of black. I've then brought in my pearl luster polish, and we want the least amount on this as we can get, because if it's too heavy, the polish will go into the wording and then you'll lose the wording. But if you're just using the very end bit that's on your applicator, the very last sort of dregs as such, we can go in over the top of this and it will just highlight the wording really nicely and give us a nice white sign with black writing, which is quite cool. And then we can take the same one and we're just going to go over the top of the signposty part as well, just to add in a bit of a matching shade. And then we're going to take our glitter kiss. So this is obviously the one we did our grouting, as we call it, that technique on the back of the embossing folder. And this time we're just going to pick up a bit on our applicator. And instead of trying to brush it all over, all we're going to do is just dab it over the top. And you'll find that you get a really nice coverage if you go over with a metallic polish and then add a glitter kiss over the top. Doesn't really matter what the colours are. I do find that it builds up slightly quicker than if you just use the glitter kit on its own. It seems to adhere to the metallic polish really nicely and makes it a little bit easier to get full coverage as well. Then we're going to go over the top of that, lovely. And we'll pop that one away for the second. And then for my one, all I've done is I've added in just 2 little strips of white card so I can hang my sign going down. Obviously it's designed that you can pop that going across to make sort of a vertical pole, but because I didn't really want to compete, because I'll bring it in and show you what I mean, I didn't really want the sign to compete with the penguin because they're about the same size and I didn't want it to overshadow my penguin or take anything away from him. So instead what I've done is I've put some foam tape on the back of this, which we'll just remove, and we're going to bring it in and we're going to bring it out from the edge of the frame instead, which is quite nice because it gives more interest to the top of the card as well. So it's just a way of giving a bit more to it. So that really completes that whole panel. Then, as I said earlier, we've got our Nothing Warms the Heart Like Good Friends in our middle panel. Now, as you can see, the difference here is on these ones, on the edges, I've used the inner die to cut out the aperture part to my frames. On this one, I've left it as a solid so I could put my insert piece in. So that really completes this card. As you can see, or as I mentioned earlier, I'd possibly put some nice backings on these, or possibly even add the frames to the reverse of them if it was a card I was going to give. And then that way I could actually write my message on the back here. If you've got the polar bear set, you could possibly add some polar bears on the back as well, and really dress it up even further if you wanted to. But just remember that you want to basically have about a 5.5 inch panel and then have enough room to score it and glue it to the next panel, depending on the size card you're working with or how many panels you wish for it to have. I've literally, as I said earlier, I've got about an A4 going on here with my 5.5, then my score 5.5 again, and then I've just got another panel I've added on at this end to give me my free-fold card. But of course, equally, if you wanted to, you could keep adding these together. You know, there's nothing stopping you from joining them and joining them and joining them. And then you could put family photos in here. You could make this a whole mantelpiece decoration if you wanted to, by just carrying on joining them and adding your family photos. So it doesn't just have to be for a card, just keep joining and keep going. You could make your home decor out of these for your Christmas decorations, bits like that. You could also put 4 together if you wanted to. If you can imagine 4 together and turn it into like a lantern instead, or a collapsible box, so it literally pops up. So yeah, really loads of ideas we could work with this frame set to play around and make different ideas. So before I leave you, I thought we would have a little look at a couple of the different cards I've made from this set as well, showing you different ways we could use them. So this again is using our deco tree frame, but this time I've added in this really lovely snowflake pearly border. That again should be available on the website, and I've just pixie powdered over the top of this one. What else have we got here? Oh, this one's a lovely one. So this one is using all the different components of that lovely die. As I mentioned earlier, really easy to just nest them together if you want to and use them to create different effects. This one down the front here is really lovely. This is using our forest die set to actually create all of our lovely trees. And then we also have a forest animal set, and you've probably seen both of these feature on recent videos that we've been uploading throughout November. If not, they will be coming soon, so do keep an eye out for them. But really brilliant dies, again available on the website, go perfectly inside our frame if you want to. Our penguin, as you can see, he fits really well in little shaker cards as well. So this is using one of our little domes that we do, and a matching die to actually create that effect. Oh, here's one with our lovely polar bear as well. We spoke about the polar bear earlier, didn't we? So he's pretty cool to go on there. And of course, our lovely Snowfall embossing folder in the back there. And then the last couple I wanted to talk about on this video was these. And I'll be mentioning these on a couple of different videos, because I want you to know that you can go on and find the instructions to make our collapsible card. So this one, of course, is using our polar bears, but we've got the signs and the wording as well. This is actually a collapsible card. So it will go completely flat if you wish to post it. You can add in more levels if you want to, but the instructions to do this are on our website. We have a little tab on the top that's called Free Project Ideas, and it will show you how to make this, so you can post it completely flat if you wish to, or leave it built, whatever you prefer. But it's a really good one to play around with your polar bears and your penguins, to make this sort of 3D deck frame to actually put them onto their different hills and bits. So you might want to go check out the instructions page for that. We also have our really easy box. Now these are really cool because they're literally just made out of 2 sheets of A4 card, and are probably one of the easiest boxes I've ever created, to be fair. But the instructions for this, again, are on the free projects page on the website. So if you want to go and have a little look at how to make these, they're super, super easy. And you could possibly put your Christmas gifts in these. Even if you've done your cards, you might like the idea of making gifts or buying gifts to go in there. Lovely candles would fit quite nicely in there as a gift, or maybe aftershave chocolates, whatever you wanted. But a nice way to dress up your presents, and really super easy to do. And again, available on the website are the instructions, completely free of charge. With both the instructions, by the way, you don't have to purchase anything. They're free of charge to go on and have a little look at. You literally find the free projects page, pick the item that you want to look at, and then just scroll through the photos, and there's a whole write-up below it telling you actually how to create it. And as I say, completely free to use, replicate as many times as you wish to. So lastly then, let's have a little chat about how we can order. If you fell in love with the penguins or any of the bits on today's video, or you just wish to kind of have a little look around the website actually has just under 8,000 items on it at the moment. So there's lots and lots on there to go and look through. Ever so easy. You can order online, obviously, or you can give us a ring on 01493 843 666, and Daphne will take your orders for you and process them, no problem. We know a lot of you don't like ordering online. Daphne is on hand to do that for you. Ever so simple, doesn't matter if you order online or by phone. U.K P&P is just, basically it's free if you spend over £5. If you spend £5 or more, your postage in the UK is completely free. If you wish to shop with us internationally, you can also do that. And then your postage is capped at £10, and that's the most you will pay. It doesn't matter how much you spend or what it costs or what you order, it's literally capped at £10. If your postage costs more than £10 here at Craftmania, we will actually pay that for you. If it costs less than £10 to send to you, then we'll actually refund the difference for you. In complete honesty, the average parcel going internationally usually costs about £24 and takes about 2 weeks to reach you, depending on the time of the year. But as I say, we will actually pay the remainder over the £10, so it's as cheap as we can possibly keep it for you. So if you are international, don't worry, you can still order these goodies. And then lastly, before I let you go, throughout November, we are also offering a promotion on our website, whereby if you spend over £10, we will give you a free die. When you go onto the website, it will pop up and show you which is your free die at that moment, but they are running out very quickly, hence why I'm not showing you anymore, because on some of the videos, you'll see we were showing you a die, but they've long gone, and I don't even know what one we're up to now. It's been such a popular promotion, and they are each while stocks last, so do get on there and get ordering. If you've already had one of the original dies, so we've gone through sleighs and flowers and cakes and bits like that, if you've had one of them, you still qualify for another one. So if you wish to, you can go and spend your £10 again or more, and you will receive that die. You don't have to put anything in the comments. Literally just spend as you normally would, check out as you normally would, and if you haven't already received that free die, we will put one in your parcel for you. But obviously it is limited to one per household of a design, so if you have already ordered and received that version that we're currently on, we won't send you a double, obviously, because we want to try and send these out to as many people as we possibly can, so you all get the freebies. Once again, the website address, if you didn't catch it first time around, is www.craftmaniacrafts.com. Thank you so much for watching, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.